Welcome to Raw Take, everyone, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm your host, Gion Thomas, and today, D. Williams is unfortunately not here with us today. But we got a great show, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the 2020 election. It is 4 days after the 2020 election, and we finally have the results. The results are in. Joe Biden is the president. He is our 46th president of the United States. He was able to pull it out. It has been a heart-wrenching 4 days. I mean, people just watching the internet, watching their phones, on social media. It has been a crazy time. I mean, even also on election night, Donald Trump announced that he was the president, that he had won.
Time to go. Sir, it's time to go. Come on. I know you're having fun, but it's time to go. Come on, let's go.
And now the results are in. Like a lot of analysts had said, the red mirage. It looked like it was going to look like that Donald Trump was going to win, but when the mail-in votes finally came in, it was going to be Joe Biden in a landslide. And right now, he's at the count is at 290 to Trump 214, and it's going to continue to count. We're midday in Texas right now, so this is just going to continue to lead. I called it personally yesterday when Georgia had flipped blue. I mean, Stacey Abrams had did a great job in the state of Georgia, getting over 800,000 more people registered to vote. I mean, that is on the ground boots on the ground work. I mean, that's what we need political candidates to do if they do lose. I mean, you need to get out there and you need to continue to fight, and that's exactly what she did. And you see how that hard work translated to the election today. I mean, that is just amazing, the work she did. So, I mean, Joe Biden got the most votes in history, and I know a lot of people will try and say voter fraud and all of this, but, like I said on the show before, we didn't really believe in the 2016 Russiagate. I mean, there was hints of, voter interference, but there was no real smoking gun at the end of the day. And so, I mean, this was a clear-cut election, and you can't say mail-in ballots are illegitimate when the president himself uses mail-in ballots. So to me, that makes no sense. But it's just been a heart-wrenching couple of days. Like I said, I mean, we didn't know who the president was. I mean, the only time we've had it like that was in the 2000 election when they were recounting the votes in Florida. But it's going to continue. This is just the beginning, honestly. But what does this mean? What does this mean, having Joe Biden as president? It's back to the Obama days. It's back to corporatism and neoliberalism. It's a kind of middle of the road, moderate way. It's not a far right fascist way like how Donald Trump was doing, but it's still very pro-corporate. And that's ultimately the problem, because when you start putting corporate interest in front of the people, that's when you start having a problem. Just for example, when Obama bailed out all the banks, I mean, basically he set a model too big to fail, and that's basically that's socialism for corporations and banks. I don't think our taxpayer dollars should go to big corporations when they mismanage the money already. To me, that makes no sense. And so, that is the progressive gripe about Joe Biden. I mean, but there are a lot of good things. I mean, you're gonna have him do the due diligence to respond to COVID. Uh, you know, the Obama administration responded to the Ebola uh, crisis, and it's just there are some good things that come with it. There are some bad things. You're going to get good Supreme Court judges. Uh, you're not going to get these far right, crazy Supreme Court judges that's going to try and take away women's rights and take away health care. But they're gonna also be very pro corporate, and so they're gonna vote. They're gonna make decisions That's gonna be profitable to corporations. So there's good and bad with this, but um, it it's just a wild time. But like I said, it's back to the Obama days. Um, but it, it's a middle of the road way. We still have to continue fighting and trying to push them to the left and get them to because you still have to recognize that Joe Biden is still the person who wrote the '94 crime bill, and Kamala Harris still she put a lot of poor people in jail in California. So good and the bad, like I said. Is this the last we see of Trump? I don't think so. Especially candidates, Trump style candidates. For the next 8 to 12 years, we'll see candidates that run on a populist right wing messaging for the Republican Party. I've seen online a lot of people talking about how they are leaving the conservative party, especially when I think Fox News called Arizona for Biden, and they a lot of conservatives or a lot of Trump supporters or whatever you want to call them. I mean, because they're not part of the conservative party, I would say. I mean, they're their own party, so they're saying that they don't even they're leaving the conservative party and they're creating their own new party, like a Trump party, and so they're turning against Fox. And there's been a lot of rumors in the background that Trump is going to start his own network. So I can see him starting his own network, and from there he'll have candidates trying to run. He'll prop them up. I can even see Trump running in 2024. This is probably not the last of him if he stays healthy. If his base pushes him, and if he can probably find another young running mate, I can definitely see Trump coming back. Um, it's or even one of his sons or daughters. I mean, I think because ultimately, I think that's what they're trying to prop up. They're trying to prop up a political dynasty like the Bushes or the Clintons, and so now you'll have the Trumps. I mean, you don't. I mean, these are wild times that we are living in. But so yeah, so we have a new conservative party. But what does this mean for progressives? And I've kind of touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but we have to continue fighting. We do have a chance. We have a slim chance of Joe Biden being a very progressive president if we keep the pressure on him, if we keep pushing him, if we keep getting every 2 years we get uh, uh, more progressives in the House of Representatives, more progressives in these local and state races. I mean, that is how progressives are going to be able to take power. We have to do the boots on the ground work and get the right candidates in Congress. I mean, that is the first step. I mean, Congress is where all the laws are made. So if we can take over the Congress full heartedly, then that's one area that we can have, and then we can start to prop up bigger positions like the Senate and hopefully one day the presidency. So that's one of the things. Every 2 years you have a House congressional race, and so every 2 years we need to be getting a progressive all over the country, at least 10, 5. We have to keep on chopping away. And this is how we're going to ultimately change the Democratic Party from within. We just have to keep on hacking. And so this is ultimately for progressives. This is not a win for us. This is a great win for the moderates. This is a loss for the progressives, and this is a killing blow to the conservatives. But like I'm saying, progressives, we have to keep on fighting. It was either fight fascism or fight neoliberalism. I would rather fight neoliberalism any day than try and fight fascism. So we have to. So our work is not done. We have to continue working, and we're in it for the long haul. But you can't get discouraged, and like I always say, you have to be part of the change that you want to see. I want to thank everybody for watching. Kill that like button and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. Thank you.